Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video here on my YouTube channel. And today is gonna be like a fun tutorial video showing you how I'll be sketching a special sprouting onion here in my kitchen. So we're having onions and garlics in our kitchen all the time, but it's really rare to see onions sprouting. And let's start appreciating and seeing the beauty in the mundane everyday life together. So I'm having a cup of London fog latte, nice and warm on this cold, rainy winter day here in Vancouver, sitting in my kitchen. Yeah, so good. I love the flavor of Earl Grey as London fog latte. Now let's get started on sketching. And I think DuDu, he wants to join this sketch session. And it's a dull, rainy day outside, great for retreating at home. So here's my current sketchbook. It's an Etchr Mix Media, 8 inches by 8 inches, square size sketchbook. And here's a fresh new page. So I'm going to start to draw the sprouting onion first, the bottom of the body, and then the green sprouts emerging from the purple onion's body. It's actually growing pretty long after about a month already. And it's starting to wither already. The top is getting a bit yellowish. Now here's DuDu smelling. So I think DuDu loves accompanying me through these sketching sessions. So I'm just finishing the contour outline of the red onion's body. So DuDu is turning 3 years old next month, but he is still as curious as a baby. Starting to get the peel layers in and the texture for the onion. And now DuDu, he is approaching the onion and garlics, smelling and surveying. And he's checking my sketch in progress. Now he decides to lay down. So these curving lines on the surface of the onion is suggesting the spherical surface. And it's the same thing for the garlic. I'm just drawing the contour outline and the little sprouts on the garlic. Here's DuDu, yeah, being a model. I think he wants to be included in my sketch. So I'm trusting what I see, getting these wonky but realistic shapes of the tissues and sprout shapes in. And just like drawing the surface texture for the onion, same for the garlic. I'm using these round curving lines to suggest the bulging surface of the garlic. And my hand pressure pressing the pen is much more gentle compared to when contour outlining. Okay, I think I'm going to include DuDu in my sketch beside the onion and garlics because he's been laying here for like 5 minutes. I think he will stay for a while. Now I'm tracing out the contour outline of DuDu's profile view of the head, the ear, and the fluffy hair, the other ear, yeah. And I think this is like a wonderful opportunity for me to sketch DuDu other than, his sleeping postures. I think he's helping me, yeah, to get more interesting sketches of him. Gently swiping the whiskers. And here he is. I think he changed position, but I think I can still figure out the shape of his eye from the side, kind of like a triangle. So since he moved, I'm moving my body so I can see his profile view better. Now I'm having fun drawing the stripes of his masquerade mask. And yeah, I hope he doesn't walk away too soon. Getting more whiskers in and just doodling the stripes of the forehead masquerade mask area. And yeah, the back of the head is pretty much close to solid black. Yeah, so just have fun scribbling to get the furry texture in, and suggesting texture and shading for the arm area, using very loose lines to draw his body. Now he's leaving. And that's okay, I can just finish drawing his tail by memory. So when drawing furry animals, especially with long fur, I'm just swiping the lines out like this. Keep it really light and loose, and a bit choppy is good. Okay, so now I'm drawing the shape of the black shirt and the contour outline of the red mahogany table. And here's the look of my finished line drawing. Now I'm using the Faber-Castell brand Ponochromo color pencils. This is the blue from the 12 color set, suggesting shadows, and then I'm blending and overlapping this purple on top of the blue. So I'm using color pencils to add a sense of vibration to these garlics and onion. Same for DuDu. Because nothing in the world stays exactly the same static position all the time. Everything is moving every second in a way that our eyes can't see. So here's my Faber-Castell set of colored pencils. And this Etchr Mix Media Sketchbook is pretty suitable for color pencils work. Now I'm using a color that I rarely use. It's the cold pink in the Mengjiu palette, mixing a little bit of permanent rose and permanent red into it. So for this very first layer, I'm trying to keep the color pretty spread out, nice and transparent, to show the juicy flesh of the onion, wet into wet, a slight bit more intense cold pink mixed with permanent rose and permanent red. Using these thinner brush marks to show the grainy texture of the peel. And I forgot to draw the whiskers for the bottom of the onion. Now I'm painting the green part of the sprout by mixing cadmium yellow with lime green to start with. Again, some brush marks could contain a higher ratio of yellow. Other brush marks could contain higher ratio of lime green. Same for the garlic sprouts. And the color of the garlic peel is not paper white. I think it has a very light tint of yellow-green. Now I'm painting the first layer of DuDu's fur, starting with yellow ochre mixed with a bit of Van Dyke brown, using a pretty diluted version. This is the underlay on the very bottom, below the black. So when the sunlight is shining on DuDu's fur, you can see a higher ratio of yellow-brown. Now, second layer wet into wet is Van Dyke brown mixed with more or less black. Now I'm laying down my brush marks following the same rhythm as how the fur is laid out on the body. So these brush marks are showing the three-dimensional body shape of DuDu's body, spherical. All of these brush marks are nice and curving. Now I'm doing another layer for the tail area using pretty much pure black. So all furry animals, they have many layers of fur. So it's better to do as many layers as we can when painting fur, just to suggest a sense of volume. Now I'm using the mix of permanent violet with cold pink to paint the new layer for the onion. This is wet on dry, so this stronger tone won't fade out. Now I'm using my medium tip water brush, so I'm able to generate smaller, finer brush marks. It's also less watery, so most of the brush marks are going to stay solid. Yet another quick layer of pink purple. some emphasis on some parts. And at the same time, not overpainting. I want to preserve some of the parts brighter, juicier, light-toned pink. Now I'm using Hooker's green to shade the left side of those green parts, using leftover gray in my palette to shade the left side of these garlics. The window is on the right. Now I'm painting the black shirt. So the black is kind of blue-violet to me, and partially it's like a colder, muted turquoise. So a lot of black objects in the world may not be truly pitch black because they're absorbing the colors of the environment, of the surrounding environment. Some black things may be absorbing a higher ratio of blue in the surrounding environment. Other black things could be absorbing higher ratio of purple. So a black shirt, if you look more deeply, could be looking more like blue purplish instead of pitch black. Same for shadows. I'm using pretty intense mix of cobalt blue with imperial purple and a little bit of viridian green, blurring out the hard edges while the brush marks are still wet. And I want very high intensity for the shadow part, touching the hard edges of the garlics and onion. And my painting suggestions for beginners and also all levels is to spend a bit more time painting your shadows. Shadows, I think they're really important, helping to make your things looking more 3D, popping off the page. Now, I'm using the mix of permanent red and burnt sienna to paint the mahogany table. Yellow ochre mixing with orange to paint the floorboard. Permanent violet mixing with burnt sienna to shade the table a little bit. And a final layer for DuDu's black fur. So after 15 to 20 minutes, when the previous layer is all dried, as you can see, the intensity is fainter or fade out. That's why I'm painting a new layer. At the same time, adding a higher sense of volume. Animal fur and human hair, they come in many layers. The more layers, the better. Now, DuDu is laying on my quilt, on my bed. Now, I'm sketching the view outside my window using the leftover space of the page spread. And here's the look of my finished art journal page spread for February the 2nd, and it's Groundhog Day. So thank you so much for watching this shorter tutorial video, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates, and I will see you around in the next video very soon. Bye!